There is anticipation that will the High Command really, adhere to the word, which is of course unwritten, unacknowledged up until now, but also undenied. So this week we're expecting some sort of an assurance. Vasudha was just pointing out that we're not expecting things to happen immediately. It could happen, gradually. They want this to be a very smooth transition because they cannot really take a chance to have, or rather antagonize either one of the parties, either DK Shivakumar or Mr. Siddaramaiah. More importantly, this is about how the Congress party treats its own leaders. They want to, of course, set an example for the future as well. We've not seen them handle situations very well in the past, be it in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand, and now in Karnataka. They do not want a similar situation. If the meeting is not going to be possible this week, we're told it's only going to happen after the 19th. That's when the Karnataka Assembly and also the Parliament session will conclude. But some sort of an assurance is going to be given to Mr. DK Shivakumar is what I'm learning. But however, even as many Congress leaders have batted for Mr. DK Shivakumar as well, I'm told that Rahul Gandhi, of course, is yet to be completely convinced that this is the right thing to do at this juncture. But things are already in motion, and we could expect some sort of a decision to come in from the High Command very soon is what I'm learning.
Ahead of the second breakfast meet set to take place at DK Shivakumar's residence tomorrow, I just want to outline what he said after the first breakfast meet. DK Shivakumar clearly said that being the party president, I know my limits. Nowhere have I made any comments or expressed a difference of opinion with the CM. So considering all that's at stake at this point of time, what can we expect in the second breakfast meet tomorrow between DKS and Siddaramaiah?
Well, it's again going to be a formal one. This is predominantly because the High Command has made it very clear that this entire apparent bickering that is evident, and it had become pretty evident, and that should completely be cleared up. The Congress should put up a united front, especially with the assembly session coming up in Karnataka in about a week's time. They want everything to remain peaceful between the two leaders, and this particular breakfast meeting, of course, is in furtherance of that.
Right, Deepak, thanks for getting us the latest on this. We'll, of course, be tracking the story very closely with you. All right, now ahead of the winter session, Prime Minister Modi launched his most aggressive attack on the opposition. Parliament into a stage for meltdowns after electoral defeats. Taking a swipe at the opposition ahead of the winter session of Parliament, Prime Minister Modi said some parties cannot digest the defeat in the Bihar polls and hoped that Parliament would not become the site of a meltdown. In what could count among his most scathing addresses before Parliament session, the Prime Minister said he was ready to give tips to the opposition on how to perform. Take a listen.
ये सत्र संसद देश के लिए क्या सोच रही है, संसद देश के लिए क्या करना चाहती है, संसद देश के लिए क्या करने वाली है, इन मुद्दों पर केंद्रित होनी चाहिए। विपक्ष भी अपना दायित्व निभाएं, चर्चा में ऐसे मुद्दे उठाएं, मजबूत मुद्दे उठाएं, पराजय के निराशा में से बाहर निकल करके आए। और दुर्भाग्य है कि एक आध दो दल तो ऐसे हैं कि वो पराजय भी नहीं पचा पाते। और मैं सोच रहा था बिहार के नतीजे इतना समय हो गया है तो अब थोड़ा संभल गए होंगे, लेकिन कल जो मैं बयानबाजी सुन रहा हूं उनकी, तो उसे लगता है कि पराजय ने उनको परेशान करके रखा है। लेकिन मेरा सभी दलों से आग्रह है कि शीतकालीन सत्र में पराजय की बौखलाहट का वो मैदान नहीं बनना चाहिए और ये शीतकालीन सत्र विजय के अहंकार में भी परिवर्तित नहीं होना चाहिए। ड्रामा करने के लिए जगह बहुत होती है, जिसको करना है करते रहें। यहां ड्रामा नहीं, डिलीवरी होनी चाहिए। नारे के लिए भी जितने नारे बुलवाने हैं वो पूरा देश खाली पड़ा है। जहां पराजित होकर के आए वहां बोल चुके हो, जहां अभी पराजय के लिए जाने वाले हो वहां भी बोल दीजिए, लेकिन यहां तो नारे नहीं, नीति पर बल देना चाहिए और वो आपकी नीयत होनी चाहिए। साथियों, हो सकता है राजनीति में नेगेटिविटी कुछ काम आती होगी, लेकिन अल्टीमेटली नेशन बिल्डिंग के लिए कुछ सकारात्मक सोच भी होनी चाहिए। नेगेटिविटी को जरा अपनी मर्यादाओं में रख करके नेशन बिल्डिंग की तरफ ध्यान दें, ये मेरी अपेक्षा रहेगी। कि पिछले कुछ समय से हमारे सदन को या तो चुनावी का वार्मिंग अप के लिए उपयोग किया जा रहा है, या तो पराजय की बौखलाहट करने को निकालने के लिए उपयोग किया जा रहा है। अब मैंने देखा है कुछ प्रदेश ऐसे हैं कि सत्ता में रहने के बाद इतनी एंटी इनकम्बेंसी है कि वो वहां जनता में जा नहीं पा रहे हैं, वहां लोगों के बीच जाकर के अपनी बात बता नहीं पा रहे हैं, और इसलिए सारा गुस्सा या सदन में आकर के निकालते हैं और सदन को अपने उस राज्य की राजनीति के लिए इस्तेमाल करने की नई परंपरा को कुछ दलों ने जन्म दिया है। अब उन्होंने एक बार चिंतन करना चाहिए कि पिछले 10 साल से ये जो खेल खेल रहे हैं, देश स्वीकार नहीं कर रही है इन पद्धतियों को, तो अब थोड़ा बदलें, अपनी रणनीति बदलें। मैं टिप्स देने के लिए तैयार हूं उनको कैसे परफॉर्म करना चाहिए, लेकिन कम से कम सांसदों के हकों पर तराप मत लगाइए, सांसदों को अभिव्यक्ति का अवसर दीजिए, अपनी निराशा और अपने पराजय पे सांसदों को बलि मत बनाइए। मैं आशा करता हूं कि इन जिम्मेवारियों के साथ हम सब चले, लेकिन मैं देश को विश्वास देता हूं कि राष्ट्र प्रगति की राह पर चल पड़ा है, राष्ट्र नई ऊंचाइयों को पार करने की दिशा में आगे बढ़ रहा है, और ये सदन भी उसमें एक नई ऊर्जा, नया सामर्थ्य भरने का काम करेगा।
Meanwhile, the opposition has hit back at the Prime Minister's drama remark, insisting that raising public issues is not drama but democracy. Take a listen.
I suggest that urgent issues like what you said, pollution, other issues, SIR, it is a huge issue for democracy. What is going on? Whether it's the election situation or the SIR, these are huge issues. Let's discuss them. What is Parliament for? Let's discuss them. Let them have a discussion. It's not drama. Speaking about issues, raising issues is not drama. Drama is not allowing discussion. Drama is not having a democratic discussion about issues that matter to the public. We've spoken about pollution. Why are we not raising it? Why are we not allowed to? Today I've asked for 0 hour on it. Why are we not allowed to discuss these things?
भाई अकाउंटेबिलिटी देना पड़ेगा ना पार्लियामेंट को कि किस आधार पे आप ये कैलकुलेशंस बना रहे हो। आर द डेटा नॉर्मल, आर द डेटा रियल और दे आर फज्ड, वो तो बताना पड़ेगा। आप एसआईआर कर रहे हो, लोग अगर मारे जा रहे हैं एसआईआर के कारण, ये तो तृणमूल के लोग नहीं है। बीएलओस को कौन अपॉइंट किया है? ममता बनर्जी का सरकार की तृणमूल पार्टी? ना हमारी सरकार किया है ना हमारा पार्टी किया है। बीजेपी का सरकार ने जिस चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर को बिठाया इलेक्शन कमीशन में, वो इलेक्शन कमीशन बीएलओस को अपॉइंट किया है। वो बीएलओस आत्महत्या करके बोल रहा है मेरा मौत के लिए जिम्मेदार है इलेक्शन कमीशन और चीफ इलेक्शन कमिश्नर। इसके ऊपर चर्चा अगर मांग रहे हैं तो आप कह रहे हो भाई ड्रामा कर रहे हैं। कौन ड्रामा कर रहा है? पूरा देश देख रहा है और जवाब करारा मिलेगा।
प्रधानमंत्री ने कहा कि जो पहली बार सांसद बने हैं वो काफी दुखी हैं उनके अनुसार।
बहुत दुखी हूँ प्रधानमंत्री जी। आप मुझे बोलने का मौका नहीं दे रहे हैं, आपका चुनाव आयोग मुझे समय नहीं दे रहा है, मैं सबूत दे रहा हूँ, स्पीकर का स्थगन प्रस्ताव दे रहा हूँ, आप बोलते क्यों प्रधानमंत्री जी? मुझे बुलवा दीजिए, स्पीकर से बोल दीजिए कि इस लड़के के पास 664 पेज का सबूत है, इसने दिया है, इसकी जांच को, उनकी बात सुनो।
वो कह रहे हैं कि आप ही के विपक्ष के नेता
अरे मैं ही लिख कर दिया हूँ, आप वो क्या कहते हैं, छोड़िए, मैं प्रधानमंत्री की शब्दशः जा रहा हूँ। मैं दुखी हूँ क्योंकि लोकसभा में मुझे बोलने का मौका नहीं दिया गया, क्योंकि आपके चुनाव आयोग ने मुझे मिलने का समय नहीं दिया, क्योंकि डीएम उस पर लाचार महसूस कर रहे हैं, और मैं सांसद हूँ, मैं पहली बार का हूँ, मैं आप ही से अपील करता हूँ, कथनी में करने में फर्क नहीं होना चाहिए। मेरी पार्टी मुझे मौका देगी, मैंने इसलिए स्थगन प्रस्ताव दिया है, और स्थगन प्रस्ताव दीजिए, मेरी पार्टी, मेरे अध्यक्ष मेरे साथ खड़े होंगे, मैं बोलूंगा।
सर, प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने कहा कि नए और युवा सांसदों को मौका मिलना चाहिए, बड़े जो सीनियर अपोजिशन के सांसद है वो पूरा पार्लियामेंट स्टॉल कर लेते हैं, उनको अपनी बात रखने का मौका नहीं मिलता।
जी जी जी, बहुत सही तो कहा है। प्रधानमंत्री की यही सोच है, नया भारत है और नई ऊर्जा है। 65% हम यंगर जनरेशन इज हियर पूरी दुनिया में। तो वन ऑफ फैंटास्टिक थॉट, व्हाट अ थॉट ही इन एनीथिंग दिस। और जो भी प्रधानमंत्री के एवरी मूव इज इन बेनिफिशियल फॉर द कंट्री, फॉर द कंट्री मैन।
प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने कहा कि वो टिप्स देने को तैयार है विपक्ष को।
दे शुड। मुझे लगता है हाफ एन आवर हर विपक्ष को, आधे घंटे, भगवान की कसम, महादेव की कसम, आधे घंटे विपक्ष को रोज जाना चाहिए इनके पास, कल्याण होगा उनका।
Well, my colleague Himanshu is now joining me live. Himanshu, this is the first parliament session after Bihar elections, with Prime Minister Modi clearly taunting the opposition and the opposition hitting back at the drama remark. Take us through that, and also talk to us about how the SIR has taken the centre stage during the first day of the winter parliament session.
Well, clearly a very stormy start to the winter session of Parliament, and the kind of scene we had seen in the last monsoon session of Parliament clearly seems visible everywhere on the first day itself. And the kind of fear that Prime Minister had expressed about the intent of the opposition was visible few minutes after his statement when the Lok Sabha proceedings started. And we saw opposition benches getting up. There were a large number of MPs had given adjournment motion notices demanding that the scheduled business of the House should be stopped and a discussion on SIR should be initiated. And that led to first adjournment at 11 o'clock, then again at 12 o'clock when the House resumed, there was second adjournment, and finally after lunch at 2 o'clock, when the opposition MPs kept on insisting and doing hangama in Lok Sabha, the House had to be adjourned today. And similar scenes were visible in Raj Sabha, where around 3:45, Congress President and Leader of Opposition got up and he demanded that government must give a timeline as to when a discussion on the SIR can be held. And at that point, their other opposition MPs also got up and there was hangama in between. An important statement was made by Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju, where he said, please don't put conditions on a tough timeline. We'll try to come back as soon as possible. So despite assurances from the government that it is seriously considering a debate on the SIR issue, we saw entire opposition walk out in Raj Sabha insisting that on day one a discussion on SIR should be initiated. And that, I think, is bad news in the sense that tomorrow as well in both Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha, several opposition MPs are now planning to give adjournment motion notices to demand a discussion on SIR on Tuesday as well.
Right, and Rajya Sabha has been adjourned and we'll meet again tomorrow. But Himanshu, stay with us. We'll come back to you in our next story, in which yet again the Congress has found itself in a rather unusual controversy after a party lawmaker arrived at Parliament with a puppy this morning. What sparked outrage was their Rajya Sabha MP Renuka Chaudhary's analogy between the pod animal and the MPs and ministers present inside. She defended her act, saying those who bite are inside Parliament, a remark that the BJP called an insult to the MPs and Parliament. Now, according to sources, an investigation committee may be formed against Renuka Chaudhary. Security personnel have now sent CCTV footage of Renuka Chaudhary's vehicle entry for investigation. Well, Himanshu, if you're still here with us, talk to us about this controversial remark made by the Congress MP Renuka Chaudhary, wherein first she carries a puppy to Parliament, a clear violation of security protocols, and then she compares the puppy to the sitting ministers inside Parliament.
Yeah, but this was around 11:15 when she first came to Parliament today on the first day. And when she was getting out of the car and she was about to speak to the media, that she does usually, she's a very vociferous MP and has a very strong stand on issues. Then suddenly a reporter noticed that there was a puppy in her car. And once she came out, we did ask her a question as to why there is a puppy in her car, and then she hit back saying the kind of quote that we just showed to the audience just now. But the question, of course, is that is it ethical for an MP to carry a pet or a dog? Later on, when she realized that this issue is becoming controversial, she came around lunchtime outside, didn't speak to many people, but did speak to an agency. And she said that when she was coming to Parliament, she saw there was an accident on the road and a small puppy was loitering near the accident site. She thought that probably some car will run over the puppy. So taking a humane stand, she took the puppy in her car, and because she had to rush to Parliament, she came here first and then she has sent the puppy back to her house. So she said that, is this a violation to save life of a puppy which was loitering near an accident site? But clearly, rule book as of now is being looked at. I have spoken to former Secretary General of Lok Sabha PDT Achari. He says that first hand, it does not seem to be a violation of the existing code of conduct, because the parliamentary code of conduct is valid only when an MP enters a parliament premise with a dog or an animal or in a very unethical way. But here his insistence was that dog was not taken out of the car, and after the MP got down, the car was sent back. But clearly this is an issue that is now being looked at, because it raises ethical questions about safety as well, in the sense that, of course, no MP should be allowed to carry a pet or a dog inside the parliament premises. And in this case, what happened when she finally entered the parliament premise, was the car checked? There are security questions also that are being looked at.
Right, and of course, that derogatory remark by the Congress MP, the analogy between the dog and the ministers inside. Let's just take a listen to the political reactions coming in on this.
Ma'am, you brought your pet today to the parliament. Some of the security officials were raising concern. आप अपना pet लेकर आए?
जानवर को पसंद नहीं करते है ना सरकार। गूंगा जानवर गाड़ी में चले गए तो इनको क्या तकलीफ है? काटने वाला कुत्ता दिखा क्या? इतनी सी तो है, काटने वाले और है पार्लियामेंट में, कुत्ते नहीं।
आज रेणुका चौधरी ने अपने एक श्वान को पार्लियामेंट में लाने का काम किया, और जब उनसे मना किया गया, रोका गया, पूछा गया, तब वो कहने लगी कि अंदर जो बैठते हैं वो दरअसल काटने वाले लोग हैं। मतलब कि सांसदों की, संसद में काम करने वाले हमारे स्टाफ की तुलना, सुरक्षा कर्मियों की तुलना उन्होंने कुत्तों से की। उन्होंने इससे पहले भी हमारे सेना के जवानों का मजाक उड़ाया है, ऑपरेशन महादेव, ऑपरेशन सिंदूर में। तो ये कांग्रेस की मानसिकता है, सेना का अपमान, संवैधानिक संस्थाओं का अपमान, पार्लियामेंट का अपमान, सुप्रीम कोर्ट का, जुडिशरी का, इलेक्शन कमीशन, सबका अपमान।
This story, according to sources, an investigation committee may be formed against Congress MP Renuka Chaudhary. Security personnel stopped Renuka Chaudhary's vehicle at the IG1 gate. She was urged not to enter with the dog, but Renuka Chaudhary insisted to enter the Parliament complex in a vehicle with the dog. According to sources, security personnel have sent CCTV footage of Renuka Chaudhary's vehicle entry for investigations. Information in this regard has also been sent to the Rajya Sabha Secretariat. And that's the news coming in. Trouble mounts for the Congress MP Renuka Chaudhary after she brought a dog along with her to day one of the winter session of Parliament. Not just that, she also made an analogy between the dog and the ministers sitting inside Parliament. Another set of breaking news at this point of time. 150 years of Vande Mataram. A discussion will be held in Parliament. The Lok Sabha will take up the discussion this week. It may be scheduled on either Thursday or Friday. 10 hours have been allotted for this debate. Prime Minister Modi will also speak during the discussion on Vande Mataram, and this will be a special discussion. That's news coming in that the Parliament will discuss 150 years of Vande Mataram. The discussion will take place either on Thursday or Friday, and around 10 hours have been allotted for the debate. Prime Minister Modi will also speak during the discussion on Vande Mataram. And well, as the winter session of Parliament gets underway, the news that we're breaking to you at this point of time is that 150 years of Vande Mataram, that will be the topic of discussion which will be held in Parliament. The Lok Sabha will take up the discussion this week, and this will be scheduled either on Thursday or Friday. Not just that, sources also tell us that 10 hours will be allotted for the discussion on Vande Mataram in the Lok Sabha. All right, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha adjourned for the day amid opposition uproar over SIR. The core demand of the demonstrating opposition MPs was a discussion on SIR. Meanwhile, a political showdown erupted on day one of the winter session after Mallikarjun Kharge's remarks triggered sharp attacks from Minister Kiren Rijiju and JP Nadda. The BJP says the Congress is jittery after its Bihar defeat, because remember, this is the first Parliament session after Bihar elections, leading to heated scenes in Parliament and opposition MPs walking out of Rajya Sabha. Opposition is demanding an immediate halt to the ECI's SIR exercise and is flagging arbitrary deletions and BLO deaths, seeking inquiry and compensation ahead of the winter session. Well, other key flashpoints expected include not just the SIR showdown, which the opposition is demanding should be taken up first, but the other discussions, the other flashpoints perhaps will be number one, Delhi's pollution crisis, the recent Delhi blast on November 10th, and the probe, and also renewed push for electoral reforms. Take a listen to the reactions after day one of winter Parliament session.
I hope you will not mind that I am constrained to refer to your predecessor's completely unexpected and sudden exit from the office of the chairman Rajya Sabha, which is unprecedented in the annals of parliamentary history. Chairman Rajya Sabha, being custodian of the entire house, belongs as much to the opposition as to the government. I was disheartened that the House did not get.
Please, आप बैठिए, Sir, I will look into it. I will look into it. I will look into it. Please, आप बैठिए. Please, आप बैठिए.
Rajya Sabha,
I look into it. Please, आप बैठिए.
entire house belongs as much to the opposition as to the government.
Please,
आप
बैठिए. I look into it.
I was disheartened
Please,
that the House did not get an opportunity to bid him a farewell. Regardless, I wish him, on behalf of the entire opposition, a very healthy life. It is our fond hope, rather we are confident that you will take care of the entire sections of the House. Sir, we are confident that you will be impartial and treat the opposition and the treasury benches in equal measures.
ये जो बहुत ही पायस और बहुत ही एक अच्छे वातावरण में आपका फेलिसिटेशन करने का जो कार्यक्रम है, उस कार्यक्रम की हम गरिमा भी बनाए रखें और उसके अनुसार ही अगर हम चर्चा करेंगे तो अच्छा रहेगा। आज के दिन जिस बात की चर्चा बीच में हमारे बहुत ही सम्मानीय लीडर ऑफ ऑपोजिशन ने बात लाई, उन बातों के बारे में अगर चर्चा करने लगे फेयरवेल के विषय पर और बाकी सारे विषय पर, तो मुझे लगता है कि वह इररिलेवेंट भी है और वह समय प्रासंगिक भी नहीं। फिर यहाँ से भी चर्चाएं होंगी कि आपने चीयर लीडर कहा था, फिर यहाँ से भी चर्चाएं होंगी कि आपने उनके खिलाफ एक नहीं 2 बार उनके खिलाफ अविश्वास प्रस्ताव दिया था। तो ये चर्चाएं, जो वातावरण बना है उस वातावरण को बनाने में वह जिसे कहा जाए वो इट इज एन ऑब्स्टिकल इन द गुड एंड कंजीनियल एनवायरमेंट डिबेट विच वाज गोइंग ऑन, नंबर 1। नंबर 2, प्रधानमंत्री जी पर रेफरेंस करना लीडर ऑफ अपोजिशन की का कि आपने बाहर वक्तव्य दिया और हम भी देंगे। मुझे लगता है कि हमारे बहुत ही सम्मानीय है लीडर ऑफ ऑपोजिशन। ठीक है, आपको बिहार की हार ने, हरियाणा की हार ने, महाराष्ट्र की हार ने काफी तकलीफ पहुंचाई है, लेकिन तकलीफ को डॉक्टर के सामने बोलना चाहिए। तो जब डॉक्टर के सामने वक्त आएगा तो आप बोलिएगा और जब समय आएगा तो बोलिएगा। लेकिन इस अच्छे डिबेट के बीच में मुझे लगता है कि आपके द्वारा आप सभापति के रूप में पहली बार हाउस को कंडक्ट कर रहे हैं, आपके सम्मान में सभी लोग वक्तव्य देंगे तो अच्छा रहेगा, यही मैं कहना चाहता हूं।
Why Honorable Leader of Opposition should refer to a case which was not necessary to be raised at this moment? Number 1. Now, अगर मैं एक तर्क देना चाहता हूं, आप सुन लीजिए, एक ही तर्क मैं दूंगा। खड़गे जी, आपका लोकसभा में लीडर ऑफ ऑपोजिशन, आप और आपका चीफ व्हिप जयराम रमेश जी, आप लोगों ने जो हरकतें की हैं, मैं इस सदन में जिक्र करना नहीं चाहता हूं। एक लोकतंत्र में हम एक दूसरे के प्रति सम्मान देना चाहिए।
आप बैठिए,
ये तो एलओपी साहब अगर वो विषय से नहीं भटकते तो मुझे कहने का आवश्यकता नहीं पड़ता। सर, ये जो उन्होंने जो मैटर रेफर किया है, ये बहुत अनफॉर्चुनेट है। मैं सदन पर सिर्फ इतना याद दिलाना चाहता हूं कि आप लोगों ने भूतपूर्व उपराष्ट्रपति को, भूतपूर्व चेयरमैन को जिस भाषा का इस्तेमाल करके आप लोगों ने जो अपमान किया, आप क्या वो भूल गए? आप लोगों ने भूतपूर्व चेयरमैन के बारे में जो अनाप शनाप बात करके आप लोगों ने रिमूवल मोशन जो सर्व किया है, और जो भाषा, वो कॉपी अभी भी हमारे पास है। कांग्रेस पार्टी और आप लोगों ने फॉर्मर वाइस प्रेसिडेंट के खिलाफ जो भाषा का इस्तेमाल किया, जो आप लोगों ने रिमूवल नोटिस में जो शब्दों का इस्तेमाल किया, आप लोग खुद सोचिए कि चेयर का गरिमा को आप लोगों ने कितना तार किया है, और आज आप यहाँ ध्यान देने का काम करते हैं। Sorry sir, this is a solemn occasion. My appeal is, please don't refer to anything which is not necessary on this solemn occasion.
इधर जब से भारतीय जनता पार्टी हारी है और खासकर उत्तर प्रदेश से हारी है, तब से भारतीय जनता पार्टी के अंदर बेचैनी है। ये लोकतंत्र बचाने के लिए जो आह्वान हो रहा है उनका, तब लोकतंत्र मजबूत होगा जब हमारा वोट डालने का अधिकार निष्पक्ष और हमारे वोट डालने के अधिकार को न छीना जाए। एसआईआर को लेकर के चिंता जो थी वो आज सच्चाई में बदलती हुई दिखाई दे रही है। अगर वोट कट जाएगा एक मतदाता का, तो उसका ड्रीम कैसे पूरा होगा? एक मतदाता का ड्रीम यह है कि उसका वोट पड़ेगा, उसके अधिकार के तहत जब वो अपना अधिकार वोट डालने का पूरा करेगा तो वह अपने सपनों को पूरा करता है। अगर किसी से नाराज है तो खिलाफ डालता है, अगर पक्ष में तो उसके पक्ष में डालता है। इधर जो तरीका अपनाया भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने, क्योंकि संसाधन का मुकाबला भारतीय जनता पार्टी का कोई नहीं कर सकता।
सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट इशू होगा जो आप रेज करेंगे?
और निश्चित रूप से लोकतंत्र के सर्वोच्च मंदिर पे SIR की जो बातें हैं, पिछली बार भी हम लोगों ने बातें रखी थी, लेकिन सरकार अपने हठधर्मिता पे कायम है और आज भी हम लोग उन मुद्दों को लेकर चल रहे हैं, क्योंकि पूरी लोकतांत्रिक पद्धति कहीं न कहीं वो दागदार बन रही है। इसलिए हम लोगों ने इस बात को सदन के अंदर भी सदन के बाहर भी इस चर्चा को रखा है।
Sir, we gave this proposal in your presence. In your presence, Congress party was there, DMK was there, all of us, the Trinamool was there, all of us were there. And we agreed that whatever the wording be on electoral reform, we can have a discussion. The government was supposed to come back to us. Nobody has come back, but we are ready, sir, for a discussion here and now, and no one wants to disrupt this house, sir.
Yeah.
All right, for more on this, my colleague Himanshu has been tracking all that's happening in Parliament. Is now joining me live. Himanshu, heated storm on day one of Winter Parl session after repeated discussions and adjournments taking place on SIR and also on the former Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar's exit. The session will resume tomorrow. But the big question right now is that can we expect any meaningful discussion take place amid all the ruckus that's been taking place in Parliament?
Well, that depends on what government strategy is as far as opposition's demand for a debate on the SIR issue is concerned. Today, in fact, during this ruckus in Parliament, Kiran Rijiju did make an important statement where he said that please don't put conditions of a timeline on the government. We are considering it, we'll get back to you. Previously also, Kiran Rijiju has been very amenable to the idea of a discussion on this. But the question is that in what format the government will agree for a debate. Until that consensus emerges, which is acceptable to both Treasury benches and the opposition benches, I think it will be difficult to resolve the logjam, the stalemate that we have now seen on day one of the winter session. Remember, during the entire monsoon session, the opposition MPs had kept on insisting for a debate on the SIR. And even today, Derek O'Brien, who's a senior Trinamool Congress leader of Trinamool Parliamentary Party, very categorically said that how can we trust the government? In the previous session, you did not initiate a debate, you did not allow a debate on SIR. So how can we trust you? You make promises and then those promises are not being fulfilled. So I think the larger question is that if the government is asking opposition for more time to think on the demand for a debate on SIR, I think itself is politically very significant, and that would perhaps also decide how far the government will be able to push 14 of important bills that it has listed in its legislative agenda for the winter session. That's right.
Rijiju in Rajya Sabha, of course, saying that opposition's demand for debate on SIR is not rejected, but they need time to respond. But thanks very much for getting us the latest on day one of the Winter Parliament session, Himanshu. All right, we have another set of breaking news coming in, but this time from Trivandrum. Activist Rahul Iswar has been arrested. He has been arrested for allegedly disclosing the rape victim's identity. Iswar allegedly revealed the rape-accused MLA's victim identity, and he has now been arrested after complaint filed by the victim. The woman in question is the victim who had filed a rape complaint against Congress MLA Rahul Mamko Tatil. And we're also learning is that Iswar is right now at the Trivandrum police station. Now, Iswar, remember, activist Rahul Iswar, he shared the personal details of the complainant on social media. Not just that, he went ahead and he questioned her character. Actions considered violations of privacy of laws protecting sexual assault survivors, and in that context, activist Rahul Iswar has now been arrested. For more on this, my colleague Aswin is now joining me live from Trivandrum. Aswin, what's the latest on this? We are learning that Iswar has been arrested. He's right now at the Trivandrum police station after revealing personal details of the victim.
Certainly looks like people who bear the name Rahul is definitely undergoing a lot of trouble.
saying that it was a case of Rahul Mankutatil, which Rahul Ishwar was batting for. And he has been, in fact, putting out a lot of YouTube videos where he was supporting Rahul Mankutatil, and by saying that Rahul Mankutatil has been trapped by this particular woman in question. Now, after a couple of videos that came online, the police has registered a complaint after the survivor in this case has made a complaint. Now, to put the essence into whole thing into context, in fact, Rahul Ishwar went on to state that this particular woman has falsely stated that she is separated when in fact she has been married. And in fact, one of the old posts which was done by a then BJP activist and now a Congress leader, Sandeep Waria, was also invoked. Now, that particular 2022 post had the photo of the victim, the survivor in it, along with her then married husband, which has allegedly been separated. Now, many people went on to look for this particular photograph, and that is where this entire case has come to fold. Rahul Ishwar has stated in none of his YouTube videos he has revealed the identity of the woman, and this is a completely false charge that has been put against him. In fact, today he was brought into the general hospital for checkup, for medical checkup, and later his hearing will be heard today evening whether he will be getting a bail, or it certainly looks like he would be getting a bail in this country because the charges are not that strong. But however, Rahul Ishwar was taken into custody after the police has prima facie found that he had tried to give the details of the survivor in this regard. His laptop was also today being confiscated by the police after there was a raid in his house today, and he was taken along to his house, and his laptop was also seized by the special team who's investigating this matter.
Right, Ashwin, just talk to us more about how Dr. P. Sareen has said that the disclosure of the victim's identity, which was done by Rahul Ishwar, was a part of a conspiracy within a WhatsApp group comprising Congress leaders. Is that true?
Well, various allegations are coming to fore. The only light will come when the investigation team brings more details on it. In fact, the court is also, as we speak, the court is also looking into it today. Whether he will get this bail or not will give us more details on it. Large number of people have come out against Rahul Ishwar. In fact, Rahul Ishwar has very constantly been supporting the Congress MLA for a long time. In fact, Rahul Ishwar also states that there needs to be a larger men's rights team that needs to be formed. In fact, all the men have been falsely charged in some particular way by just a complaint. And this is what, in fact, Rahul Ishwar has been shouting to the media ever since he was being brought for medical examination, or whether in the court, whether he was taken to his own home to when the police team had come. He kept on saying to the media that this is a false complaint, all the men are in trouble, and this is what Rahul Ishwar has stated. Certainly, there is a lot of allegations that has come forward. The Congress, certain sections of the Congress party itself have distanced away from Rahul Mankutatil, but Rahul Ishwar is full support for the accused MLA.
Right, Ashwin, thanks for getting us the latest. The latest coming at this point of time is that activist Rahul Ishwar has been arrested for revealing the victim's identity. Well, on that note, we slip into a very short break, but come right back. Lots lined up for you here on Prime 5.
Front lines of Kargil, the fury of Operation Sindhu,
so many attacks,
the chaos and cries of disaster zones, to fighter jet cockpits, and the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break, live, unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Centre.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine. In France. In Italy. At Srinagar. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
Pulling us into this country.
They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free for all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts.
All right, welcome back. You're watching Prime 5 with me, Rahisha Sehgal. And in other news, Delhi High Court today heard the plea filed by the parents of Ashok Chakra awardee Major Mohit Sharma, who have now objected to the upcoming Bollywood movie Dhurandhar. The court noted that the movie's certification is still under review by the censor board and directed the CBFC to consider the family's concerns before taking a final decision. It also said that the board is free to seek inputs from the armed forces. For now, there is no stay on the movie's release. Major Mohit's parents say that the movie mirrors their son's life, his operations, and his martyrdom without their consent. That's the statement made by Major Mohit Sharma's family. They call it a violation of privacy, dignity, and personality rights, and point out that the army was never approached for script vetting. The family is seeking a private screening before release and a broader rule requiring consent from both legal heirs and the army for any movie based on a real martyr. Meanwhile, director Aditya Dhar has issued a public clarification saying that Dhurandhar is not based on Major Mohit Sharma's life. He adds that if he ever makes a biopic on the officer, it will be done only with full family consultation and in a way that honors the Major's legacy.
Well, yes, the Delhi High Court for now has refused to stay the release of movie Dhurandhar that is scheduled to release this Friday. Remember, parents of late Major Mohit Sharma had moved the High Court contending that the movie from its trailer appears to be inspired by the life of their late son and their consent should have been taken by the filmmakers prior to making a movie like this. They have sought a stay on the release and have also sought a screening of the movie before it is released. For now, the High Court has refused to grant a stay after considering the submission that CBFC is already looking into the certification of the movie for now, and it has asked the CBFC to first address the concerns, hear out the concerns raised by the parents, and it has also said that if need be, CBFC can also forward the case to the armed forces to address the concerns raised by the parents of the late Major. So this is in fact a big development that for now there is no stay on the release from the High Court, but CBFC will be taking a call on the concerns and apprehensions raised by the parents of late Major Mohit Sharma.
All right, in other news, a 20-year-old man was beaten up, shot and his head was crushed with a stone in Maharashtra's Nanded. At his funeral, his girlfriend applied vermilion, also known as sindoor, on her forehead and vowed to live in his house as a daughter-in-law. Anchal met Saksham through her brothers and grew closer over frequent visits to his home. Their 3-year-old relationship recently began facing pressure from Anchal's family, who opposed their union over a difference in their castes. Anchal continued the relationship with Saksham despite various threats. Now, when Anchal's brothers and father learned that she was going to marry Saksham, they beat him up on Thursday, shot him in the head and crushed his head with a stone.
हमें बहुत खेद है, आप जिस पल से गुजरे हैं बहुत ही डिफ़िकल्ट पल है आंचल। आप हमें कुछ बता सकते हैं सक्षम के बारे में? आप 3 साल से उनको जानते थे?
हाँ, जानते थे। 3 साल से हम साथ में थे, हमने बहुत सारे सपने देखे थे। घर वालों ने भी भरोसा दिलाया था कि शादी करा देंगे हमारी, लेकिन एट लास्ट उन्होंने हमें धोखा दे दिया।
आप बता रहे हैं आंचल कि आपके फैमिली ने कहा था कि आपकी शादी होगी सक्षम के साथ, ये कब कहा था आपको?
कहा था 2 साल पहले, और सक्षम से भी यही कहा था उन्होंने। उसके साथ अच्छे से मिलजुल कर रहते थे, साथ में बैठ के खाते पीते थे। उसको भरोसा दिलाया जा रहा था धीरे धीरे।
और आपको विश्वास था उस वक्त 2 साल पहले कि आपकी शादी होगी सक्षम के साथ? आपकी फैमिली, आपके परिवार समर्थन दे रहे थे आपको?
हम दोनों को भी पूरा विश्वास था, बहुत समर्थन दे रहे थे, लेकिन एट लास्ट धोखा दे दिया ना उन्होंने हमें कुछ आइडिया भी नहीं था कि ऐसा कुछ होगा।
इस वारदात के बारे में आप हमें क्या बता सकते हैं? आप अभी यू आर बीइंग वेरी ब्रेव आंचल।
कोई भी भरोसा करता है
जी, यू आर बीइंग वेरी ब्रेव राइट नाउ, बट हम आपसे सुनना चाहते हैं आंचल, क्या हुआ था?
मेरे घर वाले हमारे रिश्ते के खिलाफ थे। मतलब उन्होंने मुझे कहा था कि वो जय भीम वाला है, उसके साथ तेरी शादी नहीं हो सकती। फिर एक दिन ऐसा है, मतलब मेरे घर वालों ने, मेरे पापा ने खुद सक्षम से बात की कि अगर तुझे मेरी बेटी से शादी करनी तो तुझे हमारे धर्म में आना होगा, हिंदू धर्म में। और वो मेरे लिए सब कुछ करने के लिए तैयार हुआ था जब मेरे पापा ने हमारी शादी के लिए हाँ बोला था। लेकिन पता नहीं अचानक से उनके मन में क्या आया।
Let's now tell you more about caste-related deaths in India this year in 2025. Well, according to crimes that have been reported, 113 caste atrocity incidents have taken place in the first 6 months of 2025. NCRB says this is according to the 2023 report recorded 57,789 cases of crimes against SCs in India. Not just that, apart from this, the Citizens for Justice and Peace, CJP, has recorded 113 caste atrocities in first 6 months of 2025. Remember, these are all the cases that have been reported. There are tons and thousands of cases till today, caste-related violence and atrocities which are not recorded or reported. Well, on that note, we slip into a very short break, but come right back. Lots lined up for you here on NDTV 24/7.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
Namaste, India. As you all know, I've been traveling around the world with my music. But this one is truly special. Something that's India. You all must have seen the magic that was created in Kun Faya Kun. Now it's your chance to experience it with me. So book your tickets from District app and together let's create harmony of hearts. See you, Delhi.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind, I pause, I reflect, I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
They have inspired us. They have redefined what's possible. They have shown how ideas spark inspiration and create impact. NDTV Indian of the Year 2025. Ideas, inspiration, impact. Coming soon.
Across the country.
He has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national
Hello, good evening and welcome to Nationwide at 6 on NDTV. I am Ankit Tyagi. At this moment, ladies and gentlemen, all the top stories of the country are here at your one-stop destination. Let me very quickly tell you what we'll be focusing in the next 1 hour. While the entire focus was on Karnataka, what is happening in the Congress party, actually the problems are also getting bigger and bigger. The fissures only going, in fact, wider for the Mahayuti, the ruling alliance in Maharashtra. Shinde versus Fadnavis is out in open, and how? I have that story right on the top of the bulletin. We'll also then talk about in the course of the show the first day, first showdown. Politics has in fact heated up. The first day of the winter session, from Prime Minister's jibe at the opposition to the massive showdown on SIR, it's all happening in the Parliament. We'll get you those details as well. And then, of course, a sad story, a horror killing, which has been reported from Maharashtra. And this, ladies and gentlemen, not only is just heartbreaking, but also tells you the year could be turning from 2025 to 26, but the mentality for many remains stuck thousands of years back. Let's start with our top focus at this moment, and that is coming in from Maharashtra. All is not well in the ruling alliance of Maharashtra, the Mahayuti alliance. The fissures are out in open, and they are only getting bigger because of the upcoming local body polls, especially in Mumbai. The cracks are for everybody to see. Whether it's the BJP versus the Shinde Sena, and it is all led by the fight which possibly is going on between Devendra Fadnavis, the Chief Minister, and his deputy, Eknath Shinde. Now, Ajit Pawar-led NCP leader and Maharashtra minister, in fact, took a swipe at the BJP, saying that the party has now become dependent solely on manipulation and political engineering, pushing its own leaders to the margins. So that's one, in fact, ally. But the other one, the bigger problem is, at this moment, the Deputy Chief Minister, Eknath Shinde, the former Chief Minister. He has indicated that the BJP is not adhering to coalition dharma. Though Shinde now seems to have taken, it's all pressure politics. There is somehow an unsaid word, at least in the coalition partners, a no poaching agreement sort of a thing, where the BJP and Shinde Sena are supposedly not going to induct leaders from each other. The BJP has broken that truce, and it has once again led to massive war of words between both the alliance partners. First, let's listen in to Eknath Shinde.
काल उदय सामंत असं म्हणाले की रवींद्र चव्हाण जे वागत आहेत त्या संदर्भामध्ये वरिष्ठांनी त्यांना काहीतरी सूचना देण्याची फार गरज आहे, कारण तुमच्यावर ज्या पद्धतीची टीका होते अप्रोक्ष थेटपणे, ते स्वतःही नाराज आहेत आणि तुम्हाला मानणारे तुमचे आमदार तेही नाराज आहेत.
मी अशा आरोप आणि टीकांकडे जास्त गांभीर्याने घेत नाही, कारण मी मुख्यमंत्री झालो तेव्हापासून आरोप प्रत्यारोप ह्या सगळ्या गोष्टी मी पाहिलेल्या आहेत. मी कामावर फोकस करतो. आता एवढंच आहे की आपण युती धर्म आम्ही पाळतो, तर आपल्या घटक पक्षाने देखील सगळ्यांनीच युती धर्म पाळला पाहिजे, कारण ही जी आमची युती आहे ही युती कालची आजची नाही आहे. ही बाळासाहेबांच्या काळातली, बाळासाहेब अटलजी, अडवाणीजी यांच्या काळातली युती आहे. आणि आमची युती काय सत्ता आणि खुर्चीसाठी नाही झाली, आमची युती विचारधारेला घेऊन झालेली आहे, आयडिओलॉजीला घेऊन चाललेली आहे.
Now, apparently things have come to a head where for campaigning in local body polls, when both the Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister were travelling outside, and both of them were staying in the same hotel, neither did they go out for a joint rally, nor did they meet each other. This became a massive talking point in the politics of Maharashtra, so much so that the Chief Minister, Devendra Fadnavis, had to come out and clarify. Listen in.
भेट झाली नाही झाली काय झालं मला वाटलंच की आता